You're listening to the Qur'an Tafsir, Understanding the Word of Allah, a podcast dedicated to explaining the Qur'an, presented by various reliable scholars. This episode is presented by Shaykh Faid Mohammed Said of Larayb Institute For Education in the UK. This podcast is powered by Seekers Hub Global. Visit seekershub.org for online courses, our Q&A service with reliable scholars, and engaging media.
Surat al Alaq, and it was called Surat al Alaq because the word al Alaq was mentioned in the surah. And it was, the second name is Surat Iqra, because it's the first word that was revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And also from the names of this surah is Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. And this was mentioned by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, hadith sahih, when Sayyidina Mu'adh radiyallahu anhu. If you stop writing for a little while, I want you to understand with me. Sayyidina Mu'adh radiyallahu anhu was praying with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and then going to his people and lead salah with them. You with me? So what does that mean? Sayyidina Mu'adh, one was praying behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as ma'moom, and then he was going to his people and leading salah with them. So Sayyidina Mu'adh, as a young Sahabi, and he was Hafiz, and he was enjoying the ibadah. So sometimes he was reading the long surahs. And in that community, and I've said this hadith before, but also we repeat it so that it go into your mind. So once Sayyidina Mu'adh radiallahu anhu was leading salah, in Salat al-Fajr, so he starts Surat al-Baqarah. So one of the farmers, the best time for them is this time of Fajr. Time of morning, because it is not hot. Because it is a very hot country. So until the sunrise, this is the time they go and they look after their land. So at least when it becomes hot, they will rest. And here the man is starting with Surah Al-Baqarah when he's going to finish. So the man, he finished his salah and he left. Sayyidina Mu'adh, when he finished, he said, who is the one that will left? He said, this man, there is a sign of nifaq in him. So the man, when he heard, he went to complain to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, Ya Rasulullah, how can I be munafiq? He said, Mu'adh said, I'm munafiq. Ya Rasulullah, wallah, it was a nifaq. Look at how much they care about their iman. He said, Ya Rasulullah, and he wasn't complaining about Sayyidina Mu'adh. He doesn't want to be munafiq. He is giving all the justification. Who of us think that he is munafiq now? We think about others, but every one of us think that I am safe, I am good. And wallahi al-azim, anyone who think about himself or herself that they are good, they are in danger. Always a mu'min suspects his actions. And always they ask why I am doing what I am doing. Why I am here. So this man is going and saying to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, wallah, I'm not munafiq. The only thing that I have done is I have left because I'm a farmer. I have to look after my farm. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Mu'adh, "Afattanun anta ya Mu'adh? Afattanun anta ya Mu'adh? Are you fattan? Are you a man of fitna, ya Mu'adh?" He said, when you lead salah, there is an old man behind you. There is a child. There is a woman. There is a lot of... He said... So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in this very hadith, he said, when you lead, he said, why are you reading from the long surahs? So among the surahs that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned was Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. So this is the story. So one of the names of this surah is Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. And also it was mentioned as well Surat al Qalam. And this with this we have two Surat al Qalam means. This is Surat al Qalam and Noon as well. Isn't it? Noon wal qalam wa ma yasturun. His name is Surat al Qalam. So the other ulama that they call this surah al Qalam, they call the other surah Surah Noon. They don't call it Surah al Qalam because the word Qalam is mentioned. So this is the first part, the names of the surah. Now we go the first ayat to be revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam are the first 5 ayat of Surat al Alaq. These are the first 5 ayat. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. These are the first ayat ever to be revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Well, they were revealed at the same time.
Yes, these 5 ayat. These 5 ayat are different than the rest of the surah. Okay? And it is not right for us to go to the tafsir of the surah without speaking about the situation around this ayat. Because what we are doing is not, tafsir is different than explaining the meaning of the words. If that was the case, you don't need a mufassir. Anyone can do it. So it is very much important for us to understand all the situation around the revelation of this 5 ayat. You know that this ayat was revealed to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the 17th of Ramadan. On the 17th of Ramadan, on the 40 years from the year of the elephant. The year of the elephant, 40 years after that, in Ramadan, on the 17th of Ramadan, Allah revealed these first 5 ayat. Okay. Just for your information, I have to give you something so that you don't read it somewhere and they say, Shaykh didn't teach us. Some of the Mufassirin, they say the first surah to be revealed is Surah al-Muddathir. And I know this will make someone happy, Muddathir, but still, we don't agree with this. Why they said it was the first surah to be revealed, Surah al-Muddathir? Because after the first ayat was revealed, for some time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't reveal wahi to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was a very difficult moment. Because when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam started enjoying the wahi, Allah has stopped the wahi. So after many times, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Surah al-Muddathir. So it was after the first stop, Allah revealed Surah al-Muddathir. And then also after that, the Qur'an has stopped the second time, for a very long time. So Allah revealed Surah al-Duha. With me. So the ulama that who said the first surah to be revealed, Surah al-Muddathir, is because it started after the stop. Why? That's why you need to understand, you need to bring all the riwayat, all the narrations together in order to have the full picture. But the first ayat to be revealed are these 5 ayat.
So sure.
Now,
There were 5 ayats revealed, and then there was a break, and then Surah Al-Muddathir was revealed.
yeah, there was a break after some time.
When was the rest of Surah Al Alaq?
So Surat al Alaq didn't come all in the same time. It was coming some ayat after ayat. If you see, we have only few surahs in the Qur'an that they came complete as a surah.
I think that's also one of the reasons why they say it's the first complete surah to be revealed. Surah Al-Mudaththir is in the first.
Yeah, the Surah Muddathir was revealed complete. Also Surah Al-An'am is one from the long surahs. But it was came after the break.
Yeah.
This is the break happened when Rasulullah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the ayat for him. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was enjoying the wahi. And then Allah tested him by stopping. Allah tested you by giving, Allah can test you by taking away from you as well. And subhanallah, after this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Surah Muddathir. The break, it went in some narration up to 6 months.
If there had only been one revelation,
There was not even one revelation during that break time.
then in the first, before the first break,
Yeah.
was there just one revelation?
Yeah, this is the first ayat that came. First ayat.
There was no other revelation.
There was no other revelation.
But wasn't Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam very afraid after this first revelation?
We'll come to this. We'll come to the second stage. But now, at this very moment, what I'm explaining is what was the first ayat. But I will go to the circumstance before the revelation and after the revelation. I will come to that, inshallah. Mashi? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, before this ayat, and I say this clearly to everyone, especially many people, they think, and it is very unfortunate, that they think everything about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam started in the cave of Hira. This is ridiculous. This is nonsense. And this is also ill understanding. And I wouldn't speak about it if it was to be someone saying it. But it is very unfortunate that people, they wrote about this as well. And they believe in this. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, before the revelation, he was going to the cave of Hira. But you know that before the cave of Hira, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was going to another mountain. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was going to another mountain. And when he starts doing his munajat and his dhikr in that mountain said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Come down from me." That mountain said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, "I don't want you to be killed while you are in this place. So Allah will account me." So Sayyid sallallahu alaihi wasallam came down, and Hira called Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And it was narrated with authentic narration that during this time of Hira, there is nothing on Hira that didn't greet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by saying Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. And in authentic narration, Sayyidina Ali narrated, he said, "I was with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and stone was greeting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam."
Wait, so stones greeted
Rasulullah
before his revelation?
Before his revelation. This is by Sayyidina Ali narrated.
But, so before his revelation, the stones greeted him as Assalamu alaikum ya
Ya
Rasulullah.
Rasulullah. Naam.
So they called him Rasulullah
Naam.
before revelation.
Before revelation.
Cool.
You see, sometimes the stone knows even before, subhanallah. And this connection was there. Because sometimes we don't understand even the environment around us. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Uhud jabalun yuhibbuna wa nuhibbuh." Uhud is the mountain that loves us and we love this mountain. This connection is there. As humans we cannot understand, but wallahi al-azim we do remember. Subhanallah, one of my mashayikh, subhanallah, he had a cat. Wallahi al-azim, the communication was strange. Wallahi al-azim. Sometimes when people are around, they give salam and this. You don't know, it's coming, jumping, and you say, subhanallah, sometimes it's going to harm the shaykh. And he knows, and subhanaka rabbi. As humans, we think that we are, but there is a connection. And not only this, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah made, subhanallah, the environment in Mecca for Sayyidi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how it was. You know that Quraysh, they rebuilt the Kaaba, don't they? When they rebuilt the Kaaba, the tribal society, all what they fight about is not money, power and honor. So they were okay when they built the Kaaba. Now the fight started for what? Who is going to put the black stone? And in this you have all the leaders of the tribes. Everyone is saying me. And then they said, you know what? This is going to create a bloodshed in Mecca. Because you've got many tribes. And each tribe thinks that they are better than anyone else. And you need to understand the Arab society before that. One of them, Amr ibn Kulthum, one of the chief of the tribes, speaking about his tribe, he said, إذا بلغ السبيل لنا فطاما تخر له الجبابر ساجدين. He said, our little baby, when our baby gets out from the time of breastfeeding, start eating some things, he said, the most honored people on earth, they will come to make sujood for our son or daughter. You understand how foolish these people were? And even they speak, they said, we drink a clean water and others, they drink a dirty water. This is the community. Very tribal community, everyone thinks me. They have agreed in something very strange. They said, okay, we will put the stone in a piece of material fabric. And then they said, no, astaghfirullah. They said, we will allow this to be the judge. Who to choose? Who is going to put the stone? He said, to be the one that we find the first one to go into the Kaaba. Even these people, they used to honor ibadah, by the way. They used to worship idols, but they used to know the value of ibadah. They said, the one that who goes first to the Kaaba will give him, who will be the one that who? He came, Sayyidi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, this is our problem. He took off his shorts, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he put it on the floor. He took the black stone with his blessed hand, Salawat Rabbi Wasallam, and he put it there. And said, all the chiefs of the tribes, everyone can take part in lifting this. And then he put it himself, Salawat Rabbi Wasallam alayhi. So Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and they used to call him as-Sadiq al-Amin. But let us go back to one single point. What was Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam doing in the cave of Hira? If I ask you a question. Sidi Tufayl, what was he doing in the cave of Hira? You can't do dhikr anywhere. If it was to be for dhikr, you can't do it in a corner of your house. Do you know what Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had? He had a wife that loved him, and she gave him her life and her money and everything. And the house of Sayyidah Khadija was the biggest house. There's a lot of rooms to do ibadah and meditation. He had his wife, he had his children, he had his business that he was running, and he had all these people love him. Why was he going to the cave of Hira? Why was he going to the cave of Hira, leaving everything around it? Do you do that? Do you leave your house, your work, your family, and you stay there somewhere for 6 months? Who do that?
6 months.
6 months in the cave of Hira. He was taking his food and go there. And then when he finished, he comes back, and sometimes Sayyidah Khadija bring food to him. So what was happening? This is something that we need to understand. Why Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? It is easy to say the Qur'an was revealed to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the cave of Hira. But think about that. You leave your bed, you leave your house, you leave your children, you leave your business, and then you go to a cave. Who's seen the cave of Hira? Who went to the cave of Hira from this majlis? Is there anyone?
Just saw it from outside.
You went there? Have you seen how small it is? And this is small now is after some modification. It is not somewhere that you can relax and you stretch your legs in. It's very small. Very small. What made him to leave all this? Salawat Rabbi wa salamu alayhi.
Was it maybe he wanted to reflect and the environment and where he was living? Maybe that was...
He wasn't missing something in order to go and to find it. If you are missing something, you don't go through this. He was living everything that he had. Because none of this will mean anything to him at the moment that he is in the company of Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala. Munajatullah azza wa jalla. And there is a good as well sign for all of us to understand. Why was he going to the mountain? You know, when you go, you look at this, even sometimes people, even they were fighting for this masjid. Don't they? Look, this masjid, you look at it when you are in it's very big. But when you are in a plane, even if do you see London big for you? All these houses? When Allah raise your maqam, even physically when you are up, you look at the thing that you are fighting for. What is this? You understand with me? So when he is high in the mountain, he looks at Makkah, and Allah is telling him, all these people that you see, they will fight with you. So they are nothing. Use me. Not only subhanallah, mentally you have to be in a higher position. Even subhanallah, this is the maqam of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah is choosing for him. Are you with me? And it is in this very environment that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was going for yatahannath. Yatahannath is, subhanallah, he was staying awake. Because he wasn't going there to sleep. Al-layali dawat al-adad, Sayyidah Aisha said, he was staying there nights after nights. If you want to sleep, you will find the best bed, the best mattress. You don't go in a cave or somewhere, subhanallah, where there is nothing. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't take with him anything. ايش بيسموا هذه اللي ياخذوها المسافرين هذه؟ People when they go out sometimes to the forest or this, they take this small thing like he didn't have that. He didn't have anything, salawat rabbi wa salamu alayhi. Because this is not this is the joy and the ni'mah that you are in. It makes you to forget everything around you. It is in this very situation that Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is telling Sayyidah Aisha, in that very authentic hadith himself, he said, فَقَالَ لِي اقْرَأ. He said to me, read. And now I wanted you all to stop writing and think with me. When I ask someone, I ask them to talk. But when I tell you read, which means I have to give you something to read it, isn't it? Are you with me? Have you thought about it this way? We always say the first word that was revealed is Iqra. So did Jibreel alayhi salam give Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam a book and tell him read and ask him to read? You have to think about it this way. Did he give him a book? So what was he asked? What he was telling him read. So what? To read what? Are you with me? Do you think what I'm saying, it does make sense to you? Does it make sense to you? When you say to someone, read, without giving them something, what they are going to read to you? Other than Abu Taj, does it make sense to you, what I'm saying? Okay, then tell me, then help me. Read what? فانتظروا إني معكم من المنتظرين. You can help us, doctor.
Is the meaning of Iqra just read, or could it be recite as well?
Recite what?
What follows?
So, it is not, I think we have to go out from this all superficial way of learning our deen. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Inna hada dina mateen." This deen is very deep. It's very strong. We have to think about every single thing in this Qur'an, so that Allah open for us the doors of khair. As Imam Ali, may Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him, said, "La tafna ajaibu." The wonders of this Qur'an will never finish. What Allah might open for you, maybe Allah didn't open it for the generation before us. We cannot say all the ilm is in one generation and it is gone. If we think this way, we are doing nothing. Just keep memorizing and go ahead. That's why our ulama, may Rabbi be pleased with them, even in their time, they have differences of their opinion because they were not lazy. It was a great community. You know, Imam Shatibi rahmatullahi alayhi said, Imam Shatibi was from Andalus, Spain. You know, they say, we speak about credibility in Islam, adala. To be a witness, you have to be credible. So from one of the conditions of the adala is muru'ah. Muru'ah means dignity and honor. For Imam Shatibi said, in the East, they used to call the East all this. He said, in the East, he said, one of the conditions of adala is, they said, if a man is going, with his head uncovered, they say this person, what is he doing is, it is something that not respected within the community. So they don't accept him as a shahid. If you go with, that was in the East. He said, but he said, in the West, he said, people they go, he said, we don't wear anything in our head. So he said, this condition, it applies to them, not to us. Are you with me? He didn't say, I'm learning my deen here, so I have to take it, everything I have to copy it that way. So the ulama were active. So subhanallah, at every moment that when we read something, we have to go deeply into our deen. So anyway, Jibreel alayhi salam tells to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Iqra. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam understood that there is a book and there is writing. That's why he said, Ma ana biqari, I don't read. Salawat Rabbi wa salamuhu alayhi. And Jibreel asked him, in Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And then Jibreel alayhi salam read the first ayat. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. And Sayyidi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam read this ayat behind Jibreel. First of all, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Jibreel, hold me tight. And then he left me. فَأَرْسَلَنِي. This is the first interaction between Sayyidi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Jibreel at this very moment, in a moment of wahy. But before that there was interaction. Jibreel alayhi salam came to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam before that. So the inayah of Rabbi was there for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala started the whole Qur'an even before Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It's not the first to be revealed or not Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It's Iqra. Because this ummah is ummah of Qur'an and qira'ah and reading, which we don't do now. It is very unfortunate. So the first word that Allah said is Iqra, read. This is what we call in Arabic fi'l amr, future tense. But the future tense in Arabic, it doesn't start in a future. You don't say, when you say do this, it starts from now. And it doesn't have an end. Does that make sense? When Allah said to Sayyidi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Iqra, start reading now. And this reading will never stop. And it shouldn't stop. That's why Imam Ahmad rahmatullahi alayhi, when he was about to die, he told them, give me my pen. They said, you are dying. He said, Ma'al mihbara ila al-maqbara. He said, with my ink, I go to my grave. So Sayyidi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, after this experience, he came down from, at the beginning, he was going himself to Ghar Hira. Now after this experience, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is leaving Ghar Hira. He went to Sayyidah Khadija radiallahu anha. And he told her exactly what happened. Now I want you to think with me what Sayyidah Aisha, what Sayyidah Khadija said to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What did she say to him? You all read the seerah, don't you? So can anyone tell me what Sayyidah Khadija said to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam?
She said, you are a good man, it can't be a bad spirit. And comforted him.
Mm-hmm.
And said, you have done everything good in your life. So
what did she say to him? From good, Doubt. But why did she say that? How did she know that? She's speaking about Allah, and she's speaking about the future, and she say nothing wrong will happen to you because of what?
Because all the khair is done.
So what are the khair that she mentioned?
He never turns blood.
He feeds the homeless.
He feeds the homeless.
So all the charities and the kindness.
She said, إِنَّكَ لَتَصْدُقُ الْحَدِيثِ. What you say is always the truth. وَتُقْرِ الضَّيْفِ, and you honor your guest. وَتَحْمِلُ الْكَلِّ, those who are unfortunate, those who are going through difficulties, she didn't say that you help them. What did she say? تَحْمِلُ الْكَلِّ, you carry their problems. MashaAllah, we've got Muhammad with us today. Assalamu alaikum. Said, تَحْمِلُ الْكَلِّ, you carry the problem of people. La ilaha illallah. Do you understand what this means? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will never show people that he's doing something for them. He takes their pain himself, salawatu rabbi wa salamu alayhi. وَتَحْمِلُ الْكَلِّ, you carry the problem of others as if it was yours. Not only you carry them, but also you carry their problems with you. La ilaha illallah. وَتُعِينُ عَلَى نَوَائِبِ الدَّهْرِ. And repeat this with me. وَتُعِينُ عَلَى نَوَائِبِ الدَّهْرِ. And he said, and you help people to go through the hardship of this life. So Sayyidah Khadija said, this is her logic. She said, the one that who do all this will never have, subhanallah, he will never be affected by anything bad, and Allah will never let you down. And I want to please your attention for one moment, please. Sayyidah Khadija knows a lot of other qualities of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She knows his piety. He knows his zuhd that led him to leave his wife and his children and to go to Hira. She knows his munajat. She didn't mention all this. All what she mentioned was what? All what she mentioned is the good thing that was doing to other humans. Are you with me? This is your deen. This is your deen. And we have to rethink when we say now, when you ask people who is a good Muslim, he prays 5 times a day, he gives zakah, this is a good Muslim. No, a good Muslim is a good human being before anything. If you wanted to do any khair, you cannot say, I'm good to Allah, I'm good with my deen, unless I'm good to everyone around me. سبحانك ربي. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam just said when they told him, when he stood up for the janazah of the Yahudi, the Jewish man, said, Ya Rasul, he stood up, just he saw janazah and he stood up. They said, Ya Rasulullah, he's a Jewish man. He said, Alaysat nafsan? Isn't it a human soul? He didn't say forget about anything. It is just a human soul. This is your deed. This is what Sayyidah Khadija said. In Subhanaka Rabbi, the same thing happened with Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq as well. Sayyidina Abu Bakr, when things were difficult, he left Mecca because Quraysh, they asked him to leave. So he left. When he got to the age to take this, subhanallah, one of the leaders of the tribes, he said, Ya Abu Bakr, where are you going? He said, my people asking me to leave or to leave my religion. So he said, I chose to leave. So he said, Asuha fil ard, I would go around this earth and I worship my Lord. And look at the yaqeen of Sayyidina Abu Bakr. He left his business, he left his wife, he left his children, he left everything, subhanallah, behind him. What did that man say to him? He said, no, Ya Abu Bakr, someone like you shouldn't leave his country. And he repeated what said. Forgive me. He repeated what Sayyidah Khadija said to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Iqra. Read. And then Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, you will never be able to read and you will never be able to do anything except by the help of your Lord. So he said, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read in the name of your Lord. Why he didn't say Iqra, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the name of your Lord? Why he didn't say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why did Allah mention his name? He said, Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Read by the name of your Lord. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say, read by your Lord? Why by the name of your Lord? Do you understand my question? Huh? When we say, for example, when I seek refuge, what do I say? I seek refuge by Allah. What do I say in Arabic? A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan ar-rajim. Do I say a'udhu bismillah? Do I say a'udhu bismillah or I say a'udhu billahi? A'udhu billahi. But when I do things, I say bismillah. Why is that? Why do I say bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and I say a'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan ar-rajim? Do you understand my question?
First one is you're seeking protection.
Okay.
And then you're starting to read.
Good. Yeah. So why do we have to say in the name of Allah? Why don't say with Allah, by Allah directly? Why we say by His name?
Because tawfiq comes from Allah.
Yeah, so what did the word name do in here?
It's not a kindness name if you start anything with Allah's name.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the source of barakah as well. There is degrees in things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything about Him is muqaddas, even the name itself. But subhanallah, when I say Bismillah, I don't have to mention the things that I'm going to do. For example, when I say Bismillah, when I'm writing, I'm saying, I'm writing in the name of Allah. When I say Bismillah when I'm eating, I say, I'm eating in the name of Allah. When I say Bismillah when I'm traveling in the name of Allah. So you are connecting yourself to His name subhanahu. Even whatever you are saying is, I am connected to His name subhanahu. So the name, just His name by itself, is a kind of connection. Let alone when you get to say subhanallah, you are in His company subhanahu. Because look at things. I will take you to a different hadith. The hadith al-Qudsi, hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said, when you go to Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah will ask you, say, I was sick and you didn't visit me. I was hungry and you didn't feed me. You know this hadith, don't you? And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, people, they say, Ya Allah, how can I visit you and you are Rabbul Alameen? Say, such and such was sick and you didn't visit him. Ama annaka law zurtahu. Verily, if you were to visit such and such, you were to find me there. Ama annaka law zurtahu law wajadtani indahu. Verily, if you were there with that person, you were to find me there. What does this show you? This show you that when you are in good health, you are in the company of what? Of the ni'mah of Allah. You with me? When you have things that you want around you, you are in the company of the ni'mahs of Allah. Can you all move your hands up, please? All of you. Okay. Bismillah. Okay, you can't take me. It is Him subhanahu wa ta'ala that will give you this ability. You didn't create it yourself. And try it like me and someone now. When you have a problem, you cannot even walk. So it is Him that He has given you. Not only He gave you this ni'mah, but also He made you even to forget that someone gave you this. You think it is yours. When you ask Allah, you don't ask Him this. You ask Him what? You ask Him what you don't have. Is it how we are? This is who we are? Yes. We don't remember the ni'mah that we have within us. So we say, Ya Allah, give me this, give me this, give me this. But when Allah was to give you everything that you want and He take all this away from you, then you will ask for it. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he makes dua when he goes to the washroom, and he makes dua and he thank Allah when he leaves, because he knows salawat Rabbi sallallahu, Allah is doing this, no one else. We take all this for granted, don't we? And we don't think this is my problem. When you plan for the day, do you plan for the things? Do you consider them? Always, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. This is what we do. But we don't think of the ni'mah. The ni'mah that Allah has given us doesn't consume our time. And yet all what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was saying is, he was mentioning all the ni'mah that Allah has given him. And even he says, every joint from the joint of human being needs a separate thank for every joint that you have in your body. La ilaha illallah. Kullu salama min salam ibn Adam. In hadith Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says. So when you are in good health, then you are in the company of the ni'mas of Allah. But when Allah takes this away from you, you are in the company of Allah. when things are easy, you are in the company of the ni'mah of Allah. When Allah take all this away from you, you are in the company of Allah. That's why He said, أَمَّن يُجِيبُ الْمُضْطَرَّ إِذَا دَعَاهُ. The one that who answers the desperate ones when they ask Him. Because when you are desperate, you see no one other than Him. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam teach us this. He says, لا ملجأ ولا منجا إلا إليك. لا ملجأ. There is no refuge. And there is no escape from you, Ya Allah, other than to you. Do whatever you want. Say whatever you want. Act the way you want. Wallahi, it's only one way. It is towards Him. That's why He said when He created subhanahu the mountains and the heavens and the earth, Allah said to them, ائتيا طوعا أو كرها. I said, come to me voluntarily, or I will bring you to me by force. They said, no, Ya Allah. They didn't want that choice. So, to say, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first ayah that is coming to you is to understand whatever you have is from Him. And you will never be able to do anything without Him subhanahu. If Rabbi didn't bless you with this eye, you will never be able to read. If Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't bless you with this intelligence, you didn't even be able to understand. So everything that you have is from Him subhanahu. So the wisest of people, they forget about themselves and they think of Him subhanahu. And He gave them. That's why Allah said, وَمَا بِكُم مِّن نِعْمَةٍ فَمِنَ اللَّهِ. Every blessing that you have is from Allah. Mashi. May Allah bless you. And then Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded us all by the word of khilqah. اقرأ باسم ربك. Read by the name of your Lord. Do you know the difference between Allah and Rabb? Do you know the difference between Allah and Rabb?
Because the Rabb can be used for anybody who cares for anybody, and Allah is unique for Allah.
This is one difference. Also, Rabb had the meaning of Rahmah. Rabb is the one that who created. If He has created you, He will never leave you to yourself. This is the conversation that happened between Ibrahim alayhi salam and between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In Surat al Alaq, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us about Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Sayyidina Ibrahim said to Rabbi subhanahu, speaking about Mecca, this valley, he said, Ya Rabbi, sustain the people of this area and grant them security. And then Sayyidina Ibrahim said, Ya Allah, but only the mu'mins. I don't want the ni'mah for anyone else, only for the mu'mins. So Allah said, قَالَ وَمَنْ كَفَرْ. Said, Ya Ibrahim, even the kuffar, I have created them. I have to sustain them. So Allah is a word of mighty, of Quds, of Jalal. So Rabbi chose the word Rabb. And this is because that's why most of the du'as of the Anbiya, with what do they ask Allah? Ya Rabb, Rabbana ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين رب هب لنا من لدنك رحمة. يعني subhanallah, most of the dua is with the word Rabb. Rabb means the one that who created me. خلاص ربوبية. Everyone is connected to Him subhanahu. So He didn't use the word of mighty, of Jalal, Allah. He said, اقرأ باسم ربك, in the name of your Lord. الذي خلق, the one that who has created. And here Rabbi is reminding me and remind all of us. You know, they say, what strengthens your iman? Our Shaykh Mirabibi, please see, Shaykh Hamd used to say, if you want, some of the things that will help you in strengthening your iman is to remember your creation. Remember you were born, remember you had nothing, and even in your childhood, you don't even remember that you don't even know that you are hungry. Some people have to feed you. There were moments on all of us that subhanAllah, even we didn't even know how to clean ourselves. وَاللَّهُ أَخْرَجَكُم مِّن بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made you to leave the wombs of your mothers without knowing nothing. So Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first in this ayah is reminding, say by His khilqah, He created you. الذي خلق. Then Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala goes to say, khalaq is khalaq everything, isn't it? He created the heaven, the earth, the malaika. But Allah specifically, the ayah after He said, خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ عَلَقٍ. The one that who created mankind from? What is alaq? What is alaq? What is this cloth? Can you tell me what is this cloth that Allah is speaking about? What is this cloth?
The beginning of the human body's creation.
So what is it?
Just
Yeah? What is this cloth?
Clay or dirt?
water.
No, it's not clay.
Congeal blood and water.
Blood and water, okay. But how? Those who read Surah al Alaq, all of you, can you raise your hands? Everyone that read Surah al Alaq before. Okay. You read the translation as well. Those who read the translation of this surah. Huh? Can you raise your hands? Okay, so what does the word alaq make for you? What is it?
This is a leech-like cloth. A clot of blood that is a special shape.
Okay, good. Now, yeah, one of the stages of the stage of life. Good, as you are saying. But what is it? Huh? You see, this alaq is, in Arabic we call it alaq, means something that touches. This is a blood that is not liquid and it is not, it is solid, but it is also moist. This is the first part of the creation. Why Allah has mentioned it is because this cannot come from one single person. This alaq is in, even during the period of women, it is with them, whether they are, but once, subhanallah, when the water of the man comes, and it touches this part of, that is, it is swimming in woman's blood. A small piece of, once it touches, that it's coming from the Father. This is the beginning of your creation. It is something that you cannot see and you cannot feel. None of them knows. Are you with me? So this is my beginning. This is my beginning. Subhanaka Rabbi. That's why subhanallah Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he sent a letter to the Persian Empire. Because the Persian Empire was a very arrogant man. And most of the royalists, they try to give the impression to people that they are different, that they are special. Even the way they are created are different. So Sayyidina Abu Bakr didn't say these are kuffar, let them deal with each other. He sent him a letter. He said, Ya Kisra. He said, how can you be arrogant? And he said, if you were to remember two things, you don't remember. You cannot be arrogant. He said, the day you remember, he said, subhanallah, where you come from. And he's given a reference to the day he was born. And he didn't come, subhanAllah, from a box in the heavens. Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala referring us to this. To understand, subhanAllah, yani, no one will think. Look at you now, all of us that we are sitting here. In that very stage of cloth, maybe, subhanAllah, yani, this alaq that Allah is speaking about. Do you know the alaq is, subhanAllah, yani, there is a kind of jarthuma, kind of insect, red insect. It eats, subhanAllah, normal it is in the... Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is referring to, yani, gave it the name of this even insect. It is something very small. No one give attention to. So this is my beginning and your beginning. Nothing. From this we came. We are able to speak. We are able to, subhanAllah, to have positions. But this is my beginning. So the one who created me from that to make me to where I am now is able to change everything, subhanahu. This is taqwa, consciousness. To have this awareness from it. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق. He created mankind from this alaq. Yani, and then you are in charge of this earth. You are Khalifa of Allah on earth. La ilaha illallah. You are a follower of Anbiya. And in fact, everyone came through this line. And to respect everything in the universe as well. Allahu Akbar. Forgive me. I think we should have stopped some time ago, inshallah. We'll go for the grammar for whatever it is, inshallah. Inshallah, we'll carry on next week, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum.
Thank you for listening to the Qur'an Tafsir, Understanding the Word of Allah. Help Seekers Hub give light to millions around the world by becoming a monthly donor at seekershub.org/donate. Your donations are tax deductible in the US and Canada.